Good evening. We are so glad to have you back with us. We have an exciting show for you tonight, and we have outstanding guests. I'm not gonna hold you in suspense. We're gonna be starting off with Valley Electric, and then we're gonna be going into the American Legion. But let's talk about Valley Electric first, because I have Beth Lee with me. And Beth is the manager of key accounts and community relations. And I have to ask her, Beth, what is this title? I've heard you when you talk to the Rotary Club, and I know you have a lot of information for our guest tonight. So tell us about exactly what you do, how you do it, but even before that, tell us about you.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me onto the show this evening. It's a pleasure to be here. Always happy to share information about Valley Electric. I am originally a Floridian. I was born in Florida, and then my family moved to Michigan. Spent most of my time living in Michigan, and then got married and moved out to Nevada. We've been here for 17 years, and I'm presently employed with Valley Electric. My job title is the manager of key accounts and community relations. And what that entails is I am the point of contact for our very large electric customers, and I am their basically go-to for anything they need.
Oh.
On the community relations side, I deal with town boards, the Board of County Commissioners, the local Moose Lodge, the Rotary, charitable donations, any events that the community needs, I can be there, I handle them, I handle donations, communications. I work with just about every department in the organization. So if I don't know the answer, I can certainly get you to the right person that does know.
Well, that's what we want to hear, and that's what we want to hear tonight. I know that our listening and viewing audience, they want to know more about Valley Electric. We know it's a co-op. Can you tell us what is a co-op?
A co-op is a group of people that came together to start a company, basically. So the difference is there's investor-owned utilities, or more commonly known as IOUs, and then there are cooperative utilities. So the main difference is that investor-owned utilities do everything they do for the benefit of their investors. A cooperative, since we are member-owned, we do everything for the benefit of our members. We make
Great.
sure
Okay.
that all of our day-to-day operations are for the benefit of the membership. Special projects we do, capital projects we do, every decision we make is with the membership in mind.
Now that is fantastic. Now we have time always in asking these questions, but you have certain principles within the co-op that you look at.
We do. We are not governed by the Public Utilities Commission. Because we're a cooperative, as I said, we're member-owned, we're not governed by the Public Utilities Commission, but we are governed by our Board of Directors, which is elected by our membership, and we have a set of principles. They're cooperative principles that all the cooperatives across the nation adhere to, and there are 7 guiding principles for cooperatives. There is voluntary and open membership, which means anyone is able to join the cooperative that's willing, that needs electricity, that wants to join, and will.
So anybody in the community that says, I want electricity, they become members of the co-op?
They do. They do. They become members of the cooperative and have a vested interest in the community, in the cooperative as well. And the second cooperative principle is democratic member control. That's a very important one because that's so much different than an investor-owned utility. As a member of a cooperative, you have a voice and you're heard by us. We hear you all the time. We have several committees, one of which is our Bylaws Committee, and several changes that have recently occurred to our bylaws were the product of that committee. So they review our bylaws, they come up with ideas or things they think need to change as times change, as different landscapes, economic, demographic. As those landscapes change, there are different parts of our bylaws that need to change to keep up with that. So what they do is they have an idea, it gets vetted to make sure it's a legal thing that we can change, and then we put it on a ballot and the membership votes on it. And if the membership votes to approve it, then it becomes part of the bylaws and it becomes part of what we adhere to.
So we have input into exactly how the cooperative is run.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You
Okay.
have input and control over how the cooperative functions. Absolutely.
What else can we as members do?
We have several committees. You can join a committee. You can run for a director's seat. We have monthly directors meetings, and there is a portion open to the public that you can come to. You can come and comment, listen to how the meetings run. You can look at some of the reports that are out there that are available, and you can have an active participation in the co-op.
How many directors do you have, and how are they situated, and how do I have a particular director, or do I have all directors?
Well, it's both. Any director that you contact is more than willing to help you, but the co-op is a 6,800 square mile service territory, so it's quite big. It's currently divided into 6 districts. There is Sandy Valley, 2 districts in Pahrump, south of 372 and then north of 372. There's the Amargosa area, the Beatty area, and Dyer or Fish Lake Valley area up north. So each area elects a director, and that director represents that area, that district. Now, one of the things that the Bylaws Committee recently did that was just approved at our annual meeting this year was because of the population, was to create a 7th district in Pahrump. So we will be having an election to get a director for that district very soon. Within the next year, we'll see a 7th director come online. So you do have a director specific to your area, and their information, their contact information, email and cell phone is available on our website, and you can reach out to them anytime, and they're more than willing to help. If they don't know the answer, they work very diligently to get the answers, and they reach out to staff for help all the time.
If somebody wanted to run for that director position, that number 7 that you just mentioned, what are the qualifications to be a director?
They have to be a member in good standing, meaning they have to actually be a member in that district, in that geographical area, and then they just need to fill out the application of interest.
No other qualifications?
No, not that. It's actually very easy to be a director, and then to actually get on the ballot to be considered a director, you have to be a member in good standing, as I said, and you have to be in that district, and then once we have all of the interested candidates on the ballot, then we put it up to that district for an election.
That's what I'm looking at. And so then they would go ahead and really campaign.
Yes.
Campaign for that position. And it sounds like the main qualification is interest in doing the job.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
That's what I really wanted to hear.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
The interest in doing the job is your qualification. If you're interested in looking at this, you can always contact Beth Lee and say, look, I saw the program, and I'm interested in the director's position, or I'm just interested in finding out more about Valley Electric. How can they get in touch with you?
They can call me. My number is 775-513-9410. That's my cell phone that I answer all the time.
Why don't you give that one more time?
Of course. It's 775-513-9410. People are also welcome to email me at blee, BLEE, @vea.coop.
Okay, that's a good email address and everything else. Now, I know we've had several things that we were going to cover. I know you've covered some things on community involvement. Is there anything else on community involvement that we need to discuss in this session?
We are going to hold our 15th annual Fill the Bucket Truck School Supply Drive coming up shortly.
Okay.
That will be held on August 14th from 8 a.m. to noon. And it will be we'll be there collecting school supplies in front of Smith's, Albertsons, and Walmart. We also will take donations in our lobby up to 4 p.m. on Friday, August 13th.
Oh, this is fantastic. And I know a lot of our community, a lot of people in our community always also work on that because we're doing something for our students.
Absolutely, yes. We love to have volunteers to come help us gather supplies and then organize them and distribute them to the various schools. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, this is fantastic. You know, when I first heard about Beth Lee, and I was looking at the things that she was talking about when she was talking to Rotary, and she was explaining all these vast things that Valley Electric is involved in, and I said, I've got to have her on the TV show. So that's how we got her schedule. I was so glad that she agreed to come on, and she's sharing all of this information with all of you. Is there anything else you want to cover on that, community involvement?
We do so much for the community. We do charitable donations, and you can go to our website and fill out a form for a charitable donation. We also have a charitable foundation, which is separate from the corporate donations. And what they do is they are funded through employee donations, Roundup, Operation Roundup, and Dime a Month. They operate as a grant program. They have an application on our website, so you can fill that out. If you have a project you need funding for, fill out the grant application, and we're happy to look at that.
You know, it's so many things, again, that Valley
Yeah.
Electric is involved in, and so many things that they do. I don't want to, because we're running out of time for this session, is there anything else that you want to cover in this session before we move on to the next one?
I don't think so. I think there's so many community programs we do, so many outreaches we do. Just feel free to reach out to us, and we'll walk you through them, we'll talk to you about them, and we'll help explain them.
Okay. Now, because we're running out of time for this session, I just want to say that we're going to be back in the next session because there's so much more to talk about, and we're going to be covering a lot. So get the pencil and paper, write all this stuff down, contact Beth Lee, and come back and see us next session. Welcome back. We're so glad to have you back with us. And for my guests from Valley Electric, I have Beth Lee, and she is the manager of key accounts and community relations. We've already covered some items, but there's so much more that Valley Electric does, and we don't want to miss any part of this. So the first thing I want to do is say, Beth, if these people want to contact you, give us your phone number one more time.
Of course. My phone number is 775-513-9410.
And an email address just in case.
And my email is blee@vea.coop.
Okay, now you know how to contact her if you have any questions at all about anything that we're discussing. And we try to cover everything because, you know, it's not that often we get this opportunity to have a person with all of this information that's passing on to us. So she's already talked about a couple things. Beth, what else do you want to cover?
Well, I think one of the most important things to talk about for a few minutes is the Beat the Peak program that we've had out in the rural light. As you know, the cost of power in these hot summer months can get very expensive.
Yes.
So what we're trying to do is we're trying to educate our membership, and we're trying to get everybody to do some energy conservation at certain times during the year, during the summer specifically. Those times are generally September, August, the really hot parts of the year. We did have a heat wave in June where we had to implement this, but Beat the Peak is basically where we ask our membership to do some energy conservation. There are some suggestions there about turning the thermostat up a few degrees during 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we encourage you to pre-cool your house. If you're not able to turn down your thermostat a few degrees, then that's fine. But try to turn off appliances, turn off items that aren't being used. Try to reschedule when you're going to run your large appliances like your dishwashers, your washing machines, either before 5 or after 9 o'clock. So what that does is it really helps reduce the load that we're seeing. And it's not just Nevada, it's not just a state or two, it's the entire Western grid that is experiencing power supply shortages during these excessive heat waves. And so we're all trying to pitch in and reduce our load a little bit so that we can conserve energy and we don't have to go into a rolling blackout scenario.
Okay. Now, one of the things that I always try to avoid is asking gotcha questions.
Right?
And I'm going to ask a question right now that we haven't talked
Uh-oh.
about, but it's something that I think maybe some of the people might be interested in. What about solar and how does it impact us?
Oh, it's a wonderful question. Solar, residential rooftop solar is a great thing. It's great for renewables, and it's great to help cut down the carbon footprint. So we do allow what we call interconnections for people to put rooftop solar on. And we also have our new startup company called Soul Power. We see the need, we see the desire from our membership. They want solar, they want rooftop solar. So we decided to start a company, Soul Power, and we will do residential solar installs. We help finance the cost of that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very good program, and we're looking to branch out to doing commercial. We've got a plan of development in the works to help extend that to commercial, and I think it's a great program for our members because there's a lot of. I mean, it's just we look out for the membership, and if this is what one of the things the membership wants is we're definitely there to help them. We've seen the number of applications that come through, and we definitely want to help out our membership.
This is fantastic. I know that the different things that I hear from my neighbors, my friends, and people around town, when they talk about all the different things, not only for Valley Electric, but so many other things as well. But since we have Beth on right now, that was a question that I just wanted to pose. And I know that you have an interest. So if you're interested in something like this, regardless of anything else, if it impacts power, call Beth and just say, look, this is something that I'm interested in. This is something I've heard about. This is something I want more information on. And give her a call.
Be happy to help.
Okay. Valley Electric. You talked about how the area that it covers. Give us that again.
Well, our service territory that we cover is 6,800 square miles. It covers 4 counties. It covers Clark, Nye, Mineral, and Esmeralda counties, and it stretches from Sandy Valley in the south along the Nevada-California border and goes all the way up through Fish Lake Valley area, Dyer, Nevada.
Now, how many of you knew that? I didn't. This is great information to have, to know that we're part owners of the co-op and of such a large area. But it does so much more. Valley Electric is involved in so much in the community, in helping, as we stated earlier, and helping students, in helping members of the community. Yeah, tell us more.
Well, it's not just, the help doesn't just end with the employment or anything to do with Valley Electric.
Okay.
So many of our employees volunteer their time. We've got CASA members, we've got Little League coaches, soccer coaches, people donate their time to the racetrack. They're far and away some of the most genuine and giving people that I've ever worked with. It's an honor to work with them and call them my friends. They're wonderful, and they help out anything people need. They're wonderful to help with. Some of the other programs we do as the cooperative, many people have probably seen those solar panels, ground-mounted solar panels to the west of our building.
Yes.
Well, what those do is we lease that area to a company that does solar panel testing. So it's a test area, but at the same time, it's a live working solar panel array. So the power that's generated goes back into Valley Electric, and the dollar equivalent of what they generate is donated to the senior centers in December to pay their bills every year.
This is wonderful. I've been involved with some things with the senior center, and I hear you say that, and I know so many people they want to support the senior center, they want to support our seniors, and they want to support so many in our community. And to find that Valley Electric is already doing these things, this is amazing.
Well, that goes directly to one of our cooperative principles, which is concern for community, and we take that very seriously, and we want to be a positive member and a positive influence in our communities that we live in. Because we live here, we work here, we raise our families here, and we want to make sure that we create a positive environment and leave a positive legacy where we are.
Okay, another question that I hear quite a bit is about broadband and Wi-Fi. What can you tell me about that?
We do provide broadband and Wi-Fi. We have fiber connected through what we call the business corridor of Highway 160. There is fiber available in some of our other communities like Mountain Falls and some of the residential area. Where we have not been able to extend fiber yet, we do provide Wi-Fi through the antennas, and we're looking at, we're working our way through extending fiber, but it's a time-consuming plan, and it can be expensive to actually extend the fiber, but we're working our way through to be able to do that for everybody. And I think COVID and the pandemic over the last year has really highlighted that broadband is not just a luxury, or it's not just something, it's actually a critical facet of infrastructure that
It's a necessity.
It is absolutely a necessity, and it was certainly highlighted by the pandemic and everyone that had to work from home or to go to school from home. So and part of that, there's a lot of people who through the last year have, they've unfortunately lost their jobs, or they've been financially negatively impacted by the pandemic. So the FCC has started an emergency broadband program, and it's emergency broadband benefit. And what it does is you can apply for financial help through the FCC. It's a temporary program to help you pay your broadband bills, and you can go online to a website called getemergencybroadband.org, and they have an application, and you can fill that out, or you can mail it in. You can also call them, and there are those three ways to apply to get that assistance for that critical infrastructure.
Okay, and that information you just provided, it lets you know if you're qualified for it, lets you know how to do it. It gives you all the information right there. But if you didn't get all that written down, you can always call Beth and ask her, hey, I'm interested in this particular program. What do I need to do? How can I do it? And she will provide that information for you.
Absolutely.
Tell us more about that, because I'm also thinking about the cost. People talk about the cost of broadband and what it costs, different companies and so on.
Right. Well, we do market studies on a regular basis to make sure that our price point is competitive, but also within the reach of our membership.
Okay.
So we definitely try to make sure that, while we're not losing money on it, while we're not going negative on it, that we are right in the market pricing and within reach of the membership.
Okay.
So.
You've listened to a lot of information that Beth has given, and she's also given you her phone number and her email address, so you can contact her with any questions or anything else. But this is why we have this program, and this is why we bring people in to provide this invaluable information to you. So please take advantage of it. Write down, call her, ask her questions, get involved, be members of this co-op. If you use any electricity at all, you're members of the co-op anyway. So get involved, and let's take advantage of everything that's available for us. In our closing seconds, is there anything else you want to cover in closing?
If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, to myself or anyone. We're definitely happy to help. We'll do everything we can to answer your questions and help you. We run a lot of these informational programs in the Rural Light, so make sure you check out the Rural Light, and we also have it available on our website at vea.coop.
I'm also going to say, too, that if you have an organization and you want more information, call Beth and have her come to your organization, and she can provide this information for you. So this is invaluable, and I'm so glad that you joined us tonight, and I hope you got enough information from this. We're going to be coming in the next session with American Legion. Come back and join us. Thank you. Welcome back. We're so glad to have you back with us. And I have my next guest with me, and my next guest is Michael Zamen. He is the commander of the American Legion, Post 22. But before we get into that, in the last session, we were talking about valet electric, we were talking about fill the bucket, and we want to make sure you understand that fill the bucket truck, and this is information for that. I know we showed it earlier, but it's something that's going to be on August 14th from 8 until noon, and we want to make sure that you have that information. So again, it's dealing with valet electric, but it's also something for our students, and we want to always take care of our students. So please participate, and now we'll move on and talk about the American Legion with Mike Zamen. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Thank you. Glad to be here, Tom.
We're glad to have you. As I also have to say, Michael is also a Vietnam veteran, and we're going to hear something about, okay, Michael, tell us something about your service, and you were in the Navy, correct?
Correct.
All right. Tell us something about your naval service.
Started right out of high school. Didn't have a path at the time and thought, what the heck? Here's the Vietnam thing going on. Let's go play.
Oh, me. Okay.
I joined the Navy, ended up in San Diego, and got on an aircraft carrier that we spent most of our time off the coast of Vietnam. I joined the American Legion for the first time in Olongapo City, Philippines.
Olongapo City. Very familiar with it. Go ahead.
It just had a great service. I was a welder and #1 hostman for the special firefighting team. Lucky we only had really one fire that was pretty bad, but didn't stop us.
Okay. What was the name of the aircraft carrier?
Kitty Hawk.
Kitty Hawk. I think everybody's familiar with the Kitty Hawk.
Yes, very large and did a lot of work.
Okay. So we know that Mike is a Navy veteran, a Vietnam veteran, and he's also the commander of the American Legion, Post 22. And Michael, where do you meet? When do you meet? And so on, because we want those veterans to know if they can become members of the American Legion.
All right, I just, for this session, I actually studied some history.
Okay.
It was hard to find because there's not a lot of those people left around.
Okay.
But the charter started here in the early 70s.
This is for Pahrump.
For Pahrump.
Okay.
And we've always met at the VFW, where we meet now every third Thursday of the month at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
1919 is when the American Legion actually started. That was some history that I was not familiar with.
Okay.
Other than that, we're just trying to get back up to speed. The last couple of years have been a building block session for me.
Okay.
I was an over-the-road truck driver and didn't make a lot of meetings before that. Been trying to rebuild it, needing a lot of new members to come and play.
So if somebody wanted to come out and come to your meeting, say they're a veteran and they want to become part of the American Legion, do they just come to the meeting?
Yeah, they can come and fill out an application. The American Legion has changed its qualifications to where you only have to have served 1 day
Okay.
in federal service to actually join the American Legion. It's $30 a year. It's not really expensive, so.
Well, I know. Well, most of us are life members of the American Legion, and it's a great organization. And like you said, it was at one time it was the premier organization in the country.
Yes, it was the largest veteran organization in the world, pretty much.
Okay.
It's now kind of running with the VFW. We're having a battle now to see who gets more people. VFW, you need to have more qualifications. So.
Okay, for the American Legion now, I know that there's some people say, well, I didn't qualify because I wasn't in the military during this time or that time. But like you said, now they've changed the qualifications.
Yes.
And only 1 day is a requirement to become a member of the American Legion.
That's correct. Just one 24-hour period and any time that you're alive, pretty much. There's not many of the old boys around anymore.
I don't think there's anybody that has served in the military. When you talk about 1 day, obviously you had to finish basic training and so on. So you're going to have more than 1 day. So every veteran right now is qualified for American Legion.
Correct.
Okay. So guys, girls, look, this is what it's all about. The American Legion needs you, and you need the American Legion. So come out on that third Thursday, 6 p.m. At the VFW post on Homestead, and come to a meeting. Find out what the American Legion is all about and how you can contribute. They're doing some things in our community, and I'm going to talk to Mike about that and some of the things that he's got planned. He's the post commander, and he's trying to get things going so that people remember, hey, American Legion is here and alive and well. Like he said, you know, we have the VFW, we have the DAV, we have the Marine Corps League. We have so many veterans in our midst, and many of the veterans are members of all of these organizations. But we want more members in the American Legion at this point.
Correct. We have a big group that we need to help, support them. You know, a lot of them, unfortunately, are living out here in the desert, and you got to help them in any way you can. And that's why we're trying to get more members that are capable to go out and help these other members.
Now, I do have to say, too, that when I first talked to John Strickler, John Strickler is his vice commander, and John is also working very hard to get members to come out and become members of the American Legion. So if you've talked to Mike or if you've talked to John, you're talking to the right people. But one of the ways of just getting involved is come to the meeting. And I want to reemphasize that again, the third Thursday, every month, 6 p.m., and they meet at the VFW, at the post on Homestead. So feel free to come on out and join us. Say hi to Mike, say hi to all the other members that are going to be there, and find out how you can contribute and become a part of the American Legion that's doing something for our community. Mike,
I need to make one correction.
Go ahead.
John is my adjutant.
Oh, he's your adjutant, not
Yeah.
your vice commander.
No, my vice commander's Ron.
Okay. So,
John is the secretary. Well, it's an adjutant, but he's the one that does all the paperwork. He's got a large part of the headaches.
that could be why I had his name on the
Yeah.
top of my list.
Yep. So he, you know, if you need to join, he's the one person that handles your paperwork.
Okay.
So John works really hard, and I'm glad he's there.
Oh, without the adjutant, you wouldn't survive anyway.
No. I'm also the finance officer, and I don't have near the work that John has. So he's greatly appreciated.
Okay. Thank you, John. Sorry I mixed you up with the vice commander, but as adjutant, you've got a tough job. So we definitely appreciate everything you do. Okay. Again, American Legion, Post 22. Mike Zamen is the commander, and he's here on the program tonight to encourage you to come out and become a member of the American Legion. Find out what the American Legion is all about. One of the things that I saw when I looked at the American Legion is the American Legion looks at a veteran as a veteran. It's not whether you were in combat, it is not whether you were this, it's not whether you were in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard. A veteran is a veteran. And if you're a veteran, you can become a member of the American Legion. That's the first thing I noticed. I'm also a member of the VFW, but that's veteran of foreign wars, which meant you had to be in a war somewhere else. And so that's completely different. Disabled American veterans, disabled.
Yep.
So those things are there. But for the American Legion, service, veteran is a veteran. I thought that was so important.
And excuse me, for the, I don't know, I don't want to be a person trying to get people to join the service, but it's a good way of life. I wish I'd have stayed in longer than what I actually did. So, and those people, once they get in, can become members of the American Legion.
Yes.
We need new people, younger ones. Us older ones are not able to do all the things that we wish.
That's a fact. But that's what we do. We're here to serve other veterans. We're here to make sure that we can contribute in some way. You know, our service, whether we were on active duty and the time we were on active duty, we did what we did for our country. And we're encouraging everyone to do what you can for your country. And for that reason, that's why the American Legion is here.
That's a fact.
Okay.
One we're trying to grow larger. They're out there, they're just sitting at home. Come out and do something.
Come out and join us.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I looked at several things, and I know I want to continue some of this for the next session. But I mentioned the fact that a veteran is a veteran. That's one of the things that the American Legion always looks at. Veterans are veterans. And we look at selfless service. When I say we, I'm talking the American Legion. The American Legion looks at selfless service. You don't look at doing something for your community and your fellow veterans just to get a pat on the back. You do it because they're veterans. If they're in need, it's something we can do. That's why we're there. And we have the commander here, and he wants more help to do all of these things for our community. So if you're, like he just said, if you're just sitting at home doing nothing, thinking about it, come on out. The third Thursday every month, 6 p.m. at the VFW post. And this is for the American Legion Post 22, and have a lot going on.
Yeah, and we plan on doing a lot more. We just need some people to help out.
Okay, look, we're winding down this session. We want you to come back in the next session. We're going to give you Mike's phone number so that you can contact him if you have any questions at all. But come back and join us. Welcome back for this final session. I always hate to get to the final session because we're wrapping up the show. We've had outstanding guests this evening. We've had Beth Lee from Valley Electric. She provided so much information, and I hope you took notes on that. And for these two sessions, we've had the commander of Post 22, American Legion, and that's Mike Zaman. And Mike, we're so glad to have you with us this evening.
Glad to be here.
With all the information on American Legion, you know, we were just looking at the fact that if somebody wanted to join the American Legion, all they need to do is come to the meeting. They can see your adjutant, who is John Strickler, and if they're interested in joining, they can join. But at least they'd be able to ask questions about what's going on at the post.
Right.
So if they wanted to get in touch with you, even before the meeting date, what's your phone number? What's the number?
775-751-0904.
Would you say that one more time in case they're writing it down?
775-751-0904.
Okay, you've got that number. If you have any questions about the American Legion, call Mike and ask him. He's the commander, and he can provide a lot of information for you, or come to the meeting. Again, the meetings are on the third Thursday every month, third Thursday at 6 p.m. at the VFW post on Homestead. So there are a lot of interesting things about American Legion that we haven't even discussed yet.
No.
I was looking at the history, and the American Legion was chartered by Congress in 1919 as a patriotic veterans organization.
Those old guys aren't around anymore to talk about it.
1919.
It's hard to get a lot of information. I had a hard time getting old information for our actual post here in Pahrump.
Wow.
You know, it's been around since, I think our charter, it's either 72 or 74.
Okay.
So that's a while there. I've been a member for 24 years here, and I've lived here for 26, but most of the time I was on the road trucking, so I
Okay.
didn't have a chance to put a lot of time into it. I saw that here in the past couple of years, I saw that it wasn't doing real good. So I thought, well, I better get involved. I don't want to see it go away because it helps a lot of people.
And by you getting involved, you've also taken over as commander, and you're leading this organization now.
Yes, trying to. It's a job. It's a volunteering job, and if you don't have things to do, come out and help. You can be the commander too.
Well, one of the things I want to look at, there's so many things on it. It talks about, I mentioned earlier about the fact that the American Legion looks at each veteran as a veteran. No other qualifications except being a veteran. And they have selfless service. Like I said, they're not looking for pats on the back. They're looking at helping other veterans and helping each other and other members of our community. They're veteran families that also need help. They're looking at American values and patriotism. We talk about being patriots. We talk about loving America, the United States of America, and that it is so important. When we, as young men, joined the military, it was because of love of country. And we're wanting to share that with all the young people of today. Share that love for our country. This country is so important. When you look at any other country on this planet, this is number one. And this is what we want it to be. So come out, as Mike said, and become part of it. Don't just sit back and let somebody else do it. Come out and be a part of it. I think it's so important. Family and community engagement. Families and community. Doing something for veteran families, our own families, and our community. And that's what the American Legion is all about. Advancing the mission, which means the American Legion educates, mentors, and leads new generations of Americans. That's what we want to accomplish. It's so important, but the only way to do that is if you come out and join Mike and the other members of the American Legion and say, this is what we'd like to get done. I think it's fantastic.
Yes, and it's all enjoyable. It's not like work or anything. It's just fun. We have a Wings and Things now we do on Wednesdays, 6 to 8 at the VFW.
Okay?
I don't know how many of you are cooks, but you can come out and get involved in that. And it's enjoyable. We need more people to come out and help out. We're also building a trailer to use at like your festivals and things to promote membership and to sell things to the Wings and Things End. That is to bring money in so we can help donate to needy things, needy families, stuff in the community that needs our help. That's why we're trying to get things rolling, and we need people to do that.
So come on out and join us. Again, I want to keep on emphasizing the third Thursday every month, 6 p.m. at the VFW post on Homestead. And that's where the American Legion meets. And come out and join us. It's a fun meeting. Each meeting is a fun meeting. But when you realize all the things that the American Legion is doing and trying to do in our community, that makes it even more worthwhile. I also want to look at something else that the American Legion says, and it honor those who came before us. We want to look at, again, American Legion was chartered in 1919, and all those members that came before us, they're doing a lot for our country. They're doing a lot for us. And we want to continue the memory of all of those. The American Legion pays perpetual respect for all past military sacrifices to ensure they are never forgotten by new generations. The only way we can do that is to have you come out, join us, become a part of the American Legion so that we can carry on the American ideals, and that's so important.
Right. If you were in the service, you know you had to work. This isn't work. It's just donating some time. We don't require you to do anything hard or heavy. You just come and have fun. You might have some experiences that you can use to help out. And that's what we're looking for.
Share those experiences with others. It's so important. When Mike and I started talking about our backgrounds, and that's why I wanted him to say some of the things, the fact he was on the aircraft carrier, the fact he served in the Navy, and some of the things that he has done. He was a truck driver, and now he's doing everything he can to serve our community through the American Legion. I think it's important, and it's important for you to come out and join us.
Right. That's what we're looking for. It's only, it takes us about an hour to go through all of our business on the third Thursday of the month. You know, that's not asking for a whole lot of time. And
Mike,
you might like it.
What are some of the other things that we're doing in the community as far as the American Legion? I know you talk about fundraisers and things like that, but what are some of the other things where we're going out to talk to people and explain exactly what's going on?
We tend to, you got scholarships
Okay.
that the school that we're trying to work out. They kind of fell apart a couple of years ago, and we're trying to reintroduce that.
Okay.
You know, that's one big thing. You got the baseball, you know, American Little League. That's from the American Legion. There's several different things that we're trying to promote, you know, that used to happen here.
Okay.
We just have to try to reintroduce them. I've had a hard time finding the people that used to do it. So it's like rebuilding it.
And that's the hard part,
Yeah.
but that's where you're doing. That's what you're doing now.
Yep, that's what we're going through.
Okay.
But we still you gotta make some money to spend it. That's the one thing that we've had a hard time. The wings and things came up. We don't make a lot of money, but every Wednesday come down and buy some wings and things. They also have karaoke if you really like to sing. So
every Wednesday at the VFW
at 6 o'clock,
they do wings
6 to
and
8.
things,
Yep.
and then once a month is the meeting.
Right.
On the third Thursday at 6 p.m.
Right.
Okay. So you're getting all the information. I want to have Mike give his phone number one more time, and I hope you've written it down so that you can at least contact them if you have any questions at all about the American Legion, what they're doing, how they're doing, and how you can become a part of it.
It's 775-751-0904.
Okay.
I got an email too if you want to
Go ahead.
go about it that way. It's
Go ahead and give the email.
MikeZ0978@sbcglobal.net.
One more time, Mike.
MikeZ0978@sbcglobal.net.
Okay. You've got the phone number, you've got the email address, and this is for the commander of the American Legion Post 22. Again, they meet once a month on Thursday, the third Thursday each month at the VFW Post on Homestead. And every Wednesday at 6 p.m., they have wings and things. This is a fundraiser, and obviously the wings are pretty good.
It's for entertainment. They're great. We have a lot of people that really like them. We have a lot of repeat customers.
Oh, me. Now, I have not been out for the wings and things because my Wednesdays are somewhat tied up with so many other things. But I'm going to encourage you to come out there and check them out and find out what they're all about. I know so many things are going on at the VFW Post, but we want to look at the VFW that's doing so much. We want to look at the American Legion that's trying to do a lot of things and can do a whole lot more with your assistance. We also have the DAV and we have the Marine Corps League. Now, Marine Corps League is for those that are Marines. I'm not a Marine, but I encourage all Marines to become a part of the Marine Corps League. And everybody, every veteran can become a part of the American Legion. That's why we're here. That's why Mike is here this evening. And we're here to tell you, come out, please, and join us. Mike, anything in closing?
No, just come out. That's all I got. Just do it.
Okay.
It's not that hard.
We'll see you next month. Thank you.